So welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back today. It's PES 2019 action time once more as we see Liverpool in action against Flamengo. So normally, we've seen Barca, Liverpool, we've seen the PES legends. We haven't really got a chance to see any sort of South American sides who stat-wise are a little bit lower. They're around the 70, mid-70s, high 70s. So we'll see today in this video if it plays more of a role with the stats. Now, if you haven't checked out my other video, do check it out. I sat down with the Midnight Kid, had a Q&A with him. Very long discussion, very hard to get a word in when you talk to Barry. He loves to chat, but it was all good information. He went there, he played PES non-stop while he went there from the 12th to the 14th of June in LA. And he really got his hands on the game. He tried everything, spamming, abusing stuff, trying out things that would work in PES 2018, but not necessarily in 19. A really good interview that you should be checking out if you haven't already. That does discuss the gameplay. Now, I had a few people comment as to why I wasn't able to go or why I didn't go. Barry was actually touring America himself, so he was given the chance to basically land in LA and check it out. I unfortunately didn't have the time to do it, but maybe next year it will happen. So right now they're just going through some faces. I think there's that Jordan Henderson there. Looked a little bit different from last year. These may not be finished products. I mean, they could still go in there and tweak some of these faces. I mean, yeah, PES generally has decent face scanning technology. And they look the part. Some people have complained as well about the kits themselves looking a little bit rubbery. They do actually get soaked now in the rain and the snow, etc. So that's probably what people are seeing. The conditions are wet and pretty much the kits have become soaked and saturated with water. So maybe they could do a better job of, making them look a little bit more authentic. But hey, it is what it is. But look, we're gonna talk about PES 2019 and what Barry spoke about and what he said about the game. Ultimately, the biggest comment I've seen is it looks the same as PES 2018, same robotic animations, this, that, and the other. I'm not going to pick it up. Well, it is the same engine. Okay, it's taken them 12 months to develop this. It's the same engine. It's just like NBA 2K. It's just like FIFA. They run off the same engine. It's just an enhancement from last year. There are added features that they've implemented to the game. But I think overall, it has been impressive. And there's a little bit of eye candy for you guys to watch on the left-hand side. If you're interested in that kind of thing, it's certainly something I'm not going to turn off. But anyway, yeah, for the most part, PES is looking good. And I think the thing you've got to take away with it this year is last year when Konami went to E3, they didn't show off a whole lot. They kept a lot of things behind the scenes. They weren't open about too many gameplay tweaks. Now, it's the same as last year regarding online and My Club. They're keeping those things hidden to talk about those later. But gameplay-wise, this year, they have literally let us see everything we need to see. We've seen co-op, we've seen one-on-one, we've seen even superstar difficulty. Last year we did not really see, I don't think, any major gameplay against superstar. Not at E3 anyway, maybe at Gamescom, but not at E3. This year Konami are very, very confident with this product, what they have produced. And, it does show. They've live streamed a lot of gameplay to look at. Had people from the community like Barry come in, play the game, and that is nice to see. They are trying to incorporate the community themselves and get people that have played the game a lot, know it inside and out, and get their opinions on it and not hold back. If you have an opinion, which is what Barry did, he didn't hold back, he didn't BS his way through it and just say yes, everything is fine, nothing needs to be fixed. No, he made some good suggestions, and here's an early chance, little dink. I think honestly there is a little bit too much dinking in this game. Someone said about the ball rebounding out the net on every shot. Yes, it seems like the net physics are like that, where most strikes, even the trickling ones, are still bouncing out of the net. But it is what it is. You're going to get better net physics when the ball comes out, or you don't want better net physics and the ball stays in. You can't win, really. Ultimately, look, everyone has an opinion, and some people agree with certain things and some people don't. I'm not going to argue and sit here and say every single game is perfect. It's not. And the more you play a game, the more flaws you will find in it. after a while. Barry said something which made sense in the Q&A, and it was, there are people that play my club for 300-400 hours, and then they get bored of it. Well, what do you expect when you put that kind of hourage into a game mode? You are going to get bored of it. You are going to get sick of it, and you're going to find things that someone who plays the game maybe 5-6 hours is not, because, you've just spent a lot of time mastering a game mode. So Konami are going for it this year. They haven't held back. They've put the gameplay out there, and this is what we are seeing. And I think for the most part, it does look better than PES 2018. I think ultimately the best PES of this generation, the best PES ever, I mean, look, people go back and they say PES 6 is the best. All right, PES 6 was the best. Or PES 5. Way back, in the PS2 days. Now, if a game came out like PES 5 and 6, you would say, what the hell is this? It had like hardly any directional movement. And yeah, it was good for that time, but it's not good now. PES 2019 is looking like it's going the right way. If we talk about some of the things Barry also spoke about, just to sort of recap, he had players like Messi, right? Quick, speedy players that you could literally run away from now. There's no catch-up bug that was noticeable in the demo or the build he played. So if you got it with Messi and you were up against the likes of Mertesacker, you will get away from him if he gives you the chance. But a player like Mertesacker, who is 6'6", will have the upper hand when it comes to the strength. So if the big German is able to get ahead of the Argentine, then he will be able to make that challenge. So, that's a little bit of realism. The catch-up bug was an issue, was a problem. That's a lovely turn, a lovely finish. Yeah, once again, the balls come out of the net. So I think it may just be, I don't know why that always happens. The movement of the nets are great, but yeah, the ball does seem to come out of the net 95 times out of 10, or 9 times out of 10. But look, we're nitpicking here. We'll see what happens when we play a later build of it. So anyway, here we go, looking at some of the camera angles. We've got live broadcast, we've got fan view, we've got the vertical, we've got the blimp, which is miles away, we've got mid-range, we've got long, wide, field side, dynamic wide, and then there's the live broadcast again. Same camera angles as last year. I still think they could do a better job of coming up with a really good broadcast camera, a dynamic one that you can change yourself. But they're sticking with what they have. Now, this would be a good camera angle if maybe you're online and you want to see the whole field itself. It's not very immersive at all, in fact. But, different people like different things. Now, they're probably going to show, obviously, online very shortly as well. My club is probably the biggest, what should we say, redesign. That's the word. Biggest redesign for PES 2019. They are changing a lot of things, it looks like. They haven't gone into too much detail about it. So if you are a big My Club person, certainly stay tuned to Official PES on Twitter or whatever, because they are going to come out with a lot more information. I believe the balls are going away. There is no more opening balls. They're going for the more traditional pack opening, sort of like FIFA itself. And look, I compare PES to FIFA every now and then because, look, they're both football games. They're both different football games, but ultimately you're kicking a ball around a field and you're trying to score a goal. So it's the same idea, just very different. Yes, there's different licenses, there's different modes. And the gameplay is totally different, as we've got Higuain playing on the left hand side. It's pretty much Higuain, isn't it? I think someone mentioned that. It's quite funny. Well, that's just an absolute belter of a ball over the top, and Karius there got a hand on it down to his left hand or right hand side, but he's just completely smashed that over. But I think, look, we've got to be impressed by what we've seen. I am a critiquer of PES. I always have been. I will do that every single year and critique it and analyse it, because that's what I like to do. And I will know more about it when I do get to play it. Come probably early August, I would say the demo will be out, but we'll get a full reveal, I believe, on the 21st of July when they announce the demo. Probably have similar teams. Not sure if the PES Legends will be in the demo. They may not. or they may be. But I will critique the game, and that's what I do. But I don't want to sit here and bash it non-stop and say, oh, they haven't fixed this or they haven't fixed that, because it could be here all day. You know, you've got to look at the positives and take away. Now, look, if they sped this up and they've made it look ridiculously arcadey, you know, and ultimately no changes in anything, it's the same animations recycled, they haven't added any. Yes, there are similar ones, but I mean, they haven't added any. Then I would be probably bashing it. But it's looked good to me, especially on live stream. I like the addition of the fatigue. That could be very, very important when it comes to the Master League, of course. Squad rotation, I think that's the key as well there. And I didn't have to do that last year. You know, in PES 2018, you can have the same team in every single match in Master League and get away with it. Maybe once in a blue moon, you can make a change where you needed to switch someone in purely for the fact that someone was injured and they'd played, you know, 2 games in the space of 3 or 4 days. But apart from that, it was just nothing. Oh, here's a chance. Here's a chance. Can he finish it? Nope. A good challenge there, right at the death. I don't think it was a penalty. I think it was just a good challenge, but right through the middle. There's the sign of no catch-up bug, though, didn't he? Didn't get straight back. Man, it could have been a penalty there if I don't know if that was Van Dijk missed the challenge, but the referee didn't give anything. I think they're going to go back to the normal camera angle now, because they're having a little bit of a struggling time with that one. It's a difficult camera angle to play on. But yeah, we've got about 10 minutes in this match. But yeah, you know, leave your thoughts, opinions. I always read the comments. I know I don't always answer. Just can't answer everything. But I think you guys, you have to look at it and you got to be more impressed with the stage of PES this year as opposed to last year. It is coming out earlier, yes, so this is a more probably refined code than we saw for PES 2018, but we've still got time to polish it up, and we've still got more news to come. We've got new leagues apparently still in the works, or new licenses, new partnerships could be coming into play. And then obviously the online's to be discussed. No, they haven't done as much in Master League that I would have liked them to do. Yes, I would like to see more fouling with the AI, because I don't think we see enough of it. But I think until they build a new engine and get one out, which could probably be within the next year or so, maybe. I think it's sort of getting to that time now. I mean, this engine is like 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. And I think it's sort of coming to the end of its life. But still, we got some positive to take out of it. Leave your thoughts below. We'll be back with some more content. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be getting out. You know, I haven't really been enjoying the World Cup playthrough, to be honest, on FIFA, just because I'm just not really into FIFA. So we'll see. We'll keep mashing what we have out. But until next time, if you guys enjoyed it, subscribe for more. And as the news keeps rolling out, I will keep keeping you guys up to date. But until next time, Higuain and the ladies say goodbye, and I'll see you guys in the next one.